All right, guys, today we are going to work on giving you some tips that will improve your chances of winning through my own experience playing a lot of matches and realizing that plan A might not work or certain strategies work better than others. And, we're not talking about playing a match where all you have to do is rally back and forth and you win the match. We're looking at where you're playing an opponent that might be better than you at that, or that you're playing an opponent that is you have a chance 50-50 chance of winning with the strategy you're doing right now. So I'm going to give you some tips that I've used throughout my match experience to help you with yours. So let's go through them. I have 5 winning strategies for you. So the first one will require usually one thing I want to mention with this court setup is when you're playing big points, break points 30-40 or game points 40-30, those are really the bigger, the most stressful pressure induced points, and that's in the ad side. So what I am going to recommend is serve and volley on the ad side. The reason why is that very rarely does a player have a very good backhand down the line. So what that means is if you can serve the ball cross court into the ad side and the right side of the box towards your opponent's backhand, we're assuming this player is a righty, you have a great opportunity for that ball now to be hit cross court, and that's where you come into the net. If you can come into the net, you have an easy volley to the open court where you can have a really high chance of winning the point. So think about this because a lot of players have a hard time hitting down the line. So if you can do this, it works really well. Let me show you what I mean by that. Roger Federer has done this numerous of times. You can kind of see that he'll come in the cross court point, open court, and then he has a pretty decent, pretty easy volley for him at least going there. But anyways, weak volley back, open court. So kind of just know that that's the opportunity for you to win those points. See, that was it was break point 6, or I'd say set point 6-7 there, and Federer came in on that. So really important points there. The next one I really like. I was actually playing a match today, and this worked really well for me to win my match pretty easily, just because when I got a short ball on the ad side, I would just chip it cross court to my opponent's backhand because he was a righty, and come in, and left very little opportunity for him to pass me or get a good shot on. And it looks like this. So this is what Andy Murray has done, and Federer does it too. But here's a point that I'm showing you. So here, chip it low, and now now it's an easy backhand volley. So you can see he chips it low, not deep, and then the guy comes in and just has a hard time to get the ball by him. So chip it low to the backhand and come in. This is a very, I just see this so many times that players just hit a short ball and hit it deep, and your opponent's just waiting for that. And it's like, give them a shot, that they're not used to. And players are not used to coming in aggressive, or defensively, I should say, when someone's at the net. So try that out. It really works well. Tip 3 is trying to think about, I don't want to say the word drop shot, even though the pros use drop shots to do this. The one thing that I just want to mention is, you have to hit a drop shot, but hit it short on purpose. Draw your opponent in, and then if your opponent isn't really good at approach shots, then you have a really good shot of lobbing over them. So, the next step obviously would be to get good at drop shots. But let's take a look at this here. You can kind of see how this looks. So, Djokovic is kind of setting the tone here, and then short ball, Murray can't do much, and then lob cross court works really well. You can see right here, drop shot, player comes in, can't really do much with the ball, so it's an easy cross court lob. Cross court lobs are the best way. You get more distance that way. So just kind of know that works really well with opponents, especially if they don't have good short ball, like approach shots. So give it a shot. Next one. tip 4 would be keep the ball in the middle more than you think. This is a ridiculous rally by Simon and Monfils, but I just want to kind of emphasize the point here is players don't hit near the lines as much as you think. I made a whole blog on this, but I'm going to fast forward through this. You'll see how ridiculous this is, but notice how many times the ball is hit pretty away from like not hit near the lines at all. If a player gives an angle, they get an angle, right? But most of the point is down the middle, and kind of not really close to the lines as much as you would think. So I think a lot of players think they have to be, hit winners, get near the lines, but it's really not the case. Try to be more consistent of going towards the middle of the court, and your opponent will start realizing, like, man, I can't, they're going to start pressing and maybe going for more than they should. So kind of keep that in mind. You can see this point is ridiculous, but you get an idea of like how much, finally the point's at, but how much that works for the pros. They know better than to hit near the lines unless they're going to hit a winner or they're in the court being aggressive. So try that out a little bit too. And that will also probably get you to think, wow, I need to be in better shape possibly. So that'll get working with your health too. The last one I really encourage my youngsters to do is hit more of your strength. And I know that sounds obvious, but what I mean by that is we're just assuming your forehand is stronger than your backhand. It's, work on whatever hit whatever you want. But, Federer, for example, has a great forehand, but he knows when to run around his backhand. And that's when he hits a good ball where the opponent is going to hit cross-court backhand, or, for example, and he's able to get it. So what I mean by that is he's basically just trying to find opportunities to hit his forehand. So here is where, Federer is going to hit a ball down the line. Right there, he knew he hit a good ball. So he has a good forehand opportunity. The whole idea is he hit a forehand down the line to set up the cross court, So right here, Federer hit a good ball, and now he has a forehand, right? So I'm going to rewind these just so you can see, even on the return of serve. Really good opportunities to win the point. So let's see that again. Federer hits down the line here, runs around. Watch him. He's running around. He already knew the guy was going to hit, Nadal was going to hit cross court because that was a defensive shot. So Federer was able to do that. Same here. Djokovic hits down the line, but not strong enough because Fed hit it so hard that he was able to hit his forehand, right? And that's the same idea on the return of serve. Hitting your forehand on second serve returns. So think about doing that more often, and you're going to realize how hard it is, how much pressure, I should say, your opponent's going to feel hitting that ball back and trying to get it to your backhand or hit it down the line towards your the deuce side. It just puts a lot of stress on them. So to recap here, we talked about trying to get you to think about break point or like when you're serving the ad court to hit it to their backhand, come in for the open court volley. Try that works in doubles as well. Thinking about trying to hit short on purpose, hitting to your strength. All these opportunities you got to try them out. Sliced low to their backhand on an approach shot is not a very easy thing to do unless you start practicing it. But once you get used to it, you'll realize that this is going to give you a lot more opportunities to win points because opponents aren't going to be used to these looks that you're giving them. And it's going to really help your opportunities. So if you like the tips and everything, sign up for my blog, and I'll be sending these your way as much as possible to help improve your game. Hope you liked it. Enjoy.